Hi, JD.
Hello, Rhonda.
Episode 3, The Holy Trinity.
Awesome.
I think the Holy Trinity might be acceptance, awareness, action for right now.
I like it. And have you ever heard of something? There's a book about it called Radical Acceptance.
No? What is Tell me about it.
My my interpretation of it is so acceptance one is acknowledgement of a fact. I do not do well. I mentioned last episode that I equate acceptance to liking something, and I'm just setting myself up for misery and no serenity if I have to like something. But it's just acknowledgement of a fact. And the way that I interpret radical acceptance is there are some things that stink. Let's just say health insurance. And so, I'm in recovery and the employer removes certain benefits that cost me more money, self centered fear, but I don't see that as the problem. It's the healthcare in this country, crooked politicians, awful insurance companies. And I get pissed and I act bad. I'm rude in the doctor's office. They take 7 months to make an appointment and they refer me out. And I get spun out. But I use my nightly inventory to look at resentment, look at gratitude, get out of the black and white thinking. And then the next time I go to the doctor, the same thing happens, and I blow up. And after the fact, recovery helps me. You have insurance, it's better than nothing. You can change jobs, you have choices. And it's just kind of a cycle. And finally, I get sick of fighting reality. I could move to a different country that has better insurance. I don't want it. And so the radical acceptance part is health insurance in this country stinks. I'm not going to change it. I don't like it. So the radical part is to drop the story. That means the next time I have a coworker tell me about their son's broken leg and our insurance doesn't cover imaging, I just ask how I can be of help, and I don't go list all the money I had to pay, even though I'm paying insurance to Holy Cross and all that's to drop the story. And it's so hard to do. And it's so freeing when I've been able the last couple of years to not get caught up in that fight, like really letting go. Now, I'm human. I'm allowed to be pissed. Do I vent to the appropriate person? My sponsor. And so it's really hard to just turn as you shared last episode, just don't contact her. Easier said than done. Sometimes I might come unglued, stare at the phone, start to dial the number, but no. And so yeah, I think the awareness, acceptance, and action are critical. And a lot of times we just want to, I'm aware I have a problem, let's go fix it.
I think
Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't.
I think I'm on board with you about this. But what I'm thinking about, it's a fine line though, because acceptance is not the same thing as defeat. For example, I saw this little boy in care. I'm telling you, JD, it was freaking heartbreaking. He was defeated because he had come into care. His parents were addicts, came into care, and then he, had gone into many different foster homes, psychiatric hospitals, residential treatment places. He got a little better. He went into an adoptive home, had a hard time in the adoptive home. The adoptive people gave up on him. He came back into care in a decent placement, and through Facebook, he reconnected with his birth parent, who now is clean and straight. And kids in foster care, they have CASA volunteers, which are people who are their advocates. And so he told this CASA volunteer that he connected to the mom, and the mom's clean and straight. This doesn't happen very often, by the way, is that, that parents reconnect with their kids and the parents clean and straight, and that the system will support try to reestablish or help a child reestablish a relationship with a parent whose rights have been terminated. But in this case, the CASA volunteer was on board, but this child it was just has fallen into a situation where he had many different caseworkers. And so there had been maybe 9 months have gone by, no movement toward reconnection with a birth mother, something every child yearns for. And this child, I'm almost teary talking about it, was defeated. He was so freaking depressed. I was like, what is going on with this child? He's so depressed. He's so defeated. And then it dawned on me that he had just, and when I talked to him, I could hear it in his voice. Well, I've just had a lot of different caseworkers like had almost lost hope with their defeat. And so I think it's really, really important that accepting a shitty situation is not the same thing as giving up hope.
Hopelessness and acceptance aren't the same thing. I mean, we could get into semantics about the differences between resignation, conditioned hopelessness, surrender, and acceptance. And it really does lead, and it's got to be so challenging and heartbreaking to work with children whose brains aren't developed, who are going through trauma. But for adults, it becomes, and this again isn't meant to pathologize. It's, do I want to do something about it? Like when someone's like, you are a self pitying victim. Like, no, that person is. It's such an unattractive trait. And I was told the difference, and this was explained in grief. You know, I didn't know anything. My girlfriend had cancer. And I thought grief just meant crying. I didn't know it was like a powerful emotion. And I also was learning about the disease of self and the bondage of self-pity. And I thought grief and self-pity were the same thing. Boo-hoo, poor me. And luckily someone told me, and it hurt. I was hoping they would tell me, look, you're just a self-pitying victim, shut up. And they didn't. They said, no, JD, the difference between self-pity and grief, or self-pity and anything, is that in self-pity, the story never changes. But I got that conditioned hopelessness. I can never change. Other people need to change. There's no way. This suspension of disbelief is what recovery's all about, you know. So yeah, it's not defeat at all. I think surrender, you know, we talked about that a little bit, is, you know, giving up, hiding, fighting, or resisting because I won't win.
Is it? Do you think this is surrender? I mean, like when they say let go and let God, do you feel like surrender is the same thing as letting go?
I really do. I think it is. It's give, you know, and there's a lot of recovery, they say, and they talk about these paradoxes, surrender to win. And I'm like, what? Man, surrender's loserville. But it's like, look at the happiness you've described with this situation last episode about your friend. You've somehow, through the help of sponsor, higher power, recovery tools, therapy, a partner, whatever it is, self-love, you've let go, surrendered the need to control what goes on with your friend, and you get happy, you know, or content, or just neutral even, you know, rather than obsessed, neurotic, and crazy
Crazy
and fearful, you know.
and obsessive, yeah.
So it's a question that I think is hard, but every once in a while I think about it. If someone were to ever ask me, what have you let go of or surrendered that you regret? And I don't know. In the moment, a million things. I can't let go of this. I can't let go of this partner. I can't let go of this partner. But there's not one thing I can regret letting go of, especially that need to control. And that happens daily at work. I get frustrated as hell with the way things are run. I'm glad I know it's a JD response issue rather than them. But yeah, when I don't surrender, I'm miserable. And it doesn't make me a doormat. It makes me like free, connected, more open to help other people, enjoy my life.
Yeah. And I think that, you know, it also doesn't mean like in the situation with my friend, you know, I had to let go of that because my reaction was just driving me bananas. Like I lost my serenity. But that doesn't mean that I don't have compassion that my friend is on her own journey and has got to work it out. You know, and maybe it may have to, you know, slam her head against the wall X number of times in order to finally learn the lesson. But there's nothing I can do but have compassion and let go, you know. And I think that, you know, I'm reminded also, like I go to a lot of meetings I where there's a lot of parents in Al-Anon who have adult children who are addicts. And that's, you know, like the situation of a parent letting go of their adult child that's an addict, with the realization that adult child might die as a result of their disease, is, I see people struggling, and I have compassion for them so much, watching that struggle of like, being able to let the child go and have the dignity to live their life the way that they need to live it and learn the lessons that they need to learn, very well knowing that they might die. And that is just incredibly painful, incredibly difficult. But I do believe in my heart of hearts that letting go is the best chance for the adult child to get better, and the best chance for the parent to have serenity, some type of serenity in their lives.
100% on all of it, like the challenge of it. And I've been around, and people will be like, JD, you don't have kids. You don't know what the hell I'm going through. And I'm like, no, I don't.
No, I don't.
And, back to letting go and letting God, again, I don't ever want to go and tell someone that without trying to point out some ways to let go. And because they don't solve the problem immediately and they're difficult, I don't think I'm letting go. I want that instant quick fix. I want that shot, But letting go simply is talking to your sponsor. Letting go is simply not picking up the phone. Letting go is simply going to the meeting. Like, it's all these little tangible actions. And if I can get rid of this entitlement that I prayed, I didn't talk to her one day, I shouldn't have to think about her anymore, that's the day-to-day challenge. But it's just like telling an alcoholic to quit drinking. Why don't you quit worrying about your friend, Rhonda? No, let go. No, what the hell? It's almost cruel to tell somebody without helping them, with a tangible way of letting go,
I want to give you this really silly example that happened just this morning, Valentine's.
Cool.
Is that my current partner and I we are avid cribbage players. Like, we play cribbage all the time, like every day, sometimes multiple times a day. It's amazing because you never get tired of that game. It's a great game. But anyway, so we were playing cribbage, and my partner has been saying to me regularly, when you're done with your hand, put your cards on my side of the board. And I was just like, I just did not want to do that. And that made me so mad. And so today we're playing cribbage. She's been saying this to me repeatedly. We're playing cribbage. We finished the hand, and she did not pick my cards up. They were on my side of the board. And I was just like, I really wanted to engage in a power struggle here. I wanted to be right. It was just so petty to me. I just wanted to just forget about it. This is so stupid. But anyway, I just thought and I started getting worked up about it. I could feel my temperature rising. So I was just like, today's Valentine's Day. I'm going to do it different. I'm going to give her the cards. She asked for the cards. I'm going to put them on her side. And I did. And you know what? It was no skin off my back, and it made for a very pleasant rest of the game. And so I think that, part of letting go also is giving up the need to be right, and engaging in power struggles, and not taking people personally, because I started taking her adherence to the rules personally, and it was really annoying me. But I just was like, this is her thing, whatever. Give her the cards. She asked for the cards, just give them to her. And so, easy.
It's such a beautiful story. And one of the things I've gotten good at, I've been taught, is gratitude. The gratitude in the sense of going and giving to others what was freely given to me. I'm not talking about that right now, but just grateful for what I have. And then day to day, one of the great things about being such a non-functional person with the disease of addiction is I didn't know how to do anything. And so everything is kind of a miracle, meaning a complete miracle. There's this promise in the 9th step in Alcoholics Anonymous that says we'll intuitively know how to handle situations that used to baffle us. And so I've gotten, when I go to the gym, when I do something that, even if I'm doing it regularly for the last year, I'm like, I got way more years of not doing any of this stuff. So is praying for a different, and saying thank you for, and sharing like you're just doing about a different reaction. Because that helps build hope, it builds commitment, it builds empowerment. I can do it again. Well, how else could I, let my cards go where someone asks me, and, it's my freedom.
I have in the past thrown the cards. It was not good. I would get so worked up.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's not good. I mean, it ruins the whole day. It hurts her feelings, and then it's and then just doing it, just choosing a better reaction can lead to a peaceful day that you want to have with your lover. I mean, time is precious. All those miracles that you're talking about, and I'm really grateful for her. I'm grateful she's in my life. That's miraculous. But you can sabotage it with your reaction.
1,000%. And it's just the little stuff like that, forgetting, like, God, I want to have a good day with my partner. And the problem really isn't typically the partner. It's like I'm seizing control, and it's hard to see. The payoff is so great, but there's so many times, and that's one of the grosser aspects of my character I've learned in the last year or so. It's going on forever, but is this kind of just below the surface? How dare you put such an effort into my recovery and practicing these principles, and there's this gross petty part of me that's like, I know I'm supposed to be grateful. I know I'm supposed to just play along and surrender, but I need to be right. It's disgusting, and
Rough.
and so
What's that by you being right? Like, really? I mean, like,
because it's
how?
so unattractive in other people. It's so gross.
Like, if you, I was trying to think. I mean, I'm embarrassed to say it, but I guess it must be low self-esteem that does drive that. I think, like the need to freaking be right. Right? I mean, there's always two sides to the story. There's always two
Always.
rights. It's really
And
messed.
the thing about the self-esteem, the way I was taught to do a four-step, one of the columns is how this affects me, and the first one is my self-esteem. And I'm like, how does it affect my self-esteem? This person's anti-Semitic. They're a control freak with the stupid cribbage game. They're like, it didn't affect my self-esteem at all. Yes, it does. I want to be right. I feel either stupid or I'm arrogant. I'm better than you, partner. I'm worse than you. It's a complete self-esteem issue. But it's like with resentment. Was I not trying to be a friend? Why would I want to be a friend with this guy? And so, yeah, like they'll talk about putting others down to feel better about myself. I'm like, no, I'm putting them down because they're really scummy people. And it's like, no, that's a JD self-esteem issue. And that's why I'm grateful for people in recovery. This is kind of an abstraction, but I remember sharing in a meeting early in my recovery about how wise my sponsor was. And it was all about relationships, about all this guidance he's giving me. I couldn't apply any of it. But I'm sharing about it, and this guy who'd been around for a while pulled me aside after the meeting, and he's like, look, I'm not here to burst your bubble. I'm not here to deride your sponsor, but do you know that only reason he kind of knows how you think and can provide you with such good guidance? And I'm like, yeah, he's a fucking genius. He's a spiritual giant. He's like, he's made every stupid fucking mistake you've made. He's been through it, and he's learning. It's like, yeah, he's not just like some genius who's come down from on high. He's human. And so that's why it's so much. I can't let go without other people. I can't get back. I can't build hope without other people. I can't see myself objectively without other people.
You know what? I love recovery. My Al-Anon is such a safe place for me. And it has been giving me so many gifts, especially, the people, like everybody in there has been affected by the disease of alcohol and addiction. And that, we all have relationship troubles. We all have, been affected in ways that have affected our self-esteem, the way we communicate, the way we trust, the way we try to control and monitor. Having people like you, JD, and my sponsor, and other people give me a chance to reason things out and increase my self-awareness and take action and become more aware of my own role in my misery. And it's very powerful. It's like amazingly powerful. Can't even begin to describe how my life has changed since I have been in recovery.
That's what it is, and I think that's a miracle you can even say and experience that. I think that for most people, I'll never walk into a meeting. It's all, I'm the only one. This idea that I'm alone. Every once in a while my brain kicks in and I'm like, there is not a problem I have or could have that there isn't someone within arm's reach who is either having it, had it, gone through it, or could understand, And so I think
It really helps having somebody. Yeah.
It's critical, might have mentioned this before, and I'll say it again. If someone said, "What do? You want to change, you want to get better," and I would tell them there's three things, and it would be a community, and that could be two people, could be one other person, a shred of honesty and a shred of gratitude. And a little bit of gratitude builds honesty, a little bit of honesty builds gratitude. And with those two things, then I might open my mind a little bit. Then I might persevere a little bit. Then I might every once in a while be like, I'm not alone, you know? And that's the other thing is when I, can admit defeat, like really anything positive is a miracle. And maybe one out of the next 10 times I play cribbage in a loving, like, let them do what they want to do way. And then it's 2 out of 10, then maybe 5 out of 10, then back to 2. But I'm more aware, But yeah, I can't recover alone. Personality change just does not occur. I can get all the great ideas from therapy, from books, but until I kind of try it out in relationships and with people, it's just ideas.
When you were just talking just then, I was thinking to myself, I think if I just prayed before every game to be loving and accepting before I start playing, I would not go crazy at these cribbage games. And because, most of them are loving and fun, but sometimes I go bananas. Jeannie, my partner, never goes bananas. She's always calm, cool, and collected. It's me. And so I do think, we haven't really talked, that's something we haven't really talked about that much, is the spiritual connection, because is that the timer? Okay, well, so we're going to close this up, but maybe next time. Well, these are the things I was thinking about. What do you think? Spiritual connection is really important. Recovery is based around that. And the other thing I was thinking about, a couple things that you said that I was interested in exploring more. Your nightly inventory that you do. I want to hear more about that. And then the role of the victim. I really want to talk about that some. So what would any one of those things?
Yeah, those sound good. I think we could work on a title or topic. And I know that we talked about pausing. And I think I would like to hear what you have to say. What does spirituality mean to you? Like, and I'll say what it means to me and what I've heard about it, because I think people, even in recovery, still try to box it into prayer, meditation, God. And instead of that whole story you told about cribbage is what spirituality is all about, in my mind.